My name's Daniel, and I think my house is alive. I know how that sounds insane, right? But just listen to what's been happening. It all started 2 months ago when I moved into a quiet, tree-lined neighborhood on the edge of town. The rent was ridiculously cheap, and the house ain't old. Two-story wooden place had this strange, forgotten charm. The landlord, a nervous man who couldn't make eye contact, mentioned it had been empty for years. He said the previous owner loved it too much to sell. That should have been a red flag, but I was just happy to have my own space. I didn't think much of it at the time. The very first night, I noticed something odd. After I'd unpacked a few boxes, I turned off the lights and lay down, exhausted. The house was settling, as old houses do, but these weren't random creaks. They were slow, steady, rhythmic sounds, almost like footsteps, coming from the hallway just outside my door. I held my breath listening. The steps seemed to pause right outside my room. My heart was hammering. I slowly got up, grabbed the heaviest thing I could find, a lamp pan, crept to the door. I threw it open and found nothing, just an empty, moonlit hallway. I laughed it off. Old house, old sounds, I told myself. But the next morning, I woke up with a cold knot in my stomach. My bedroom door was wide open. I know for a fact I lock it before sleeping. It's a habit I've had for years. A week later, things got weirder. I started hearing things. Not loud, not clear. Just faint whispers that seemed to coil through the walls themselves. Sometimes it sounded like my name, Daniel, stretched out and distorted. Other times, it was laughter, a low, guttural chuckle that made the hair on my arms stand up one afternoon. I got brave. I pressed my ear against the living room wall, right where the sound seemed strongest, and I swear I could hear breathing. A slow, deep inhale and a long, rattling exhale. Like the house itself was a living lung. I even called my friend Mia and told her about it. She just joked, maybe your house has a crush on you. I didn't laugh. It didn't feel like a crush. It felt possessive. So being the logical person I am, also I thought I decided to set up a camera. I needed to prove to myself that nothing was happening, that it was all just stress and my imagination running wild. I placed a small camera on my dresser, aimed directly at my bed and the door. I hit record and tried my best to get some sleep the next morning. I couldn't wait to check the footage. I made a coffee, sat down, and fast-forwarded through the video. For the first 4 hours, absolutely nothing. Just me, tossing and turning. Then, at exactly 3:14 a.m., the doorknob began to turn. Slowly, silently, the door creaked open. But that wasn't the worst part. As the door opened, the camera glitched. A sudden burst of static filled the screen for a second, and when the image cleared, the angle had changed. It was no longer a wide shot. The camera was now zoomed in, tight, on my sleeping face. I don't own a camera with motion tracking or auto zoom. Nobody else was in the room. Something had moved it. I stopped sleeping in that room after that. No way. I started crashing on a worn-out couch in the living room, leaving every light in the house on. But even there, I felt it. The constant, oppressive presence. The walls seemed to be breathing round me, a low hum vibrating through the floor. The floorboards creaked as if they were following my every move from the floor above. One night, I was so on edge I just whispered into the empty room, "What do you want?" As soon as the words left my lips, the lights flickered violently. And I swear, I heard a voice answer, not from the air, but from deep within the floorboards beneath me. A single, raspy word. "You," that was it. That was the final straw. That same night, I packed my bags in a frenzy. I didn't care about the security deposit, my furniture, anything. I just wanted out. As I scrambled for the front door, keys shaking in my hand, I risked one last glance back. The archway of the door, it was pulsing, a faint, rhythmic throbbing. Like a vein under skin, the brass doorknob began to turn slowly on its own, clicking as the latch retracted. The house knew I was leaving, and it wasn't going to let me go easily. I didn't wait to see what would happen next. I just ran. I've been staying at my friend Mia's place for 2 weeks now. Everything's been fine, blissfully quiet, wonderfully normal. I was finally starting to feel safe again. Until last night. I woke up around 3 a.m. to a strange feeling, that familiar sense of being watched. I scanned the dark room and noticed something glowing faintly on the wall opposite the bed. There was a thin, hairline crack in the paint, shaped exactly like a doorframe. And from the other side, I could hear it. It's saying slow, deep breathing. I don't think I left it behind. I think it followed me. And tonight, I can feel it again. It's watching me sleep.